Alright, so what I decided to do was do a compression test on this thing since we got the engine freed up. I got the carburetor off and it looks kind of toasty. The flap is frozen and I can smell the hint of bad gas. I got a new key switch installed, but it's not turning over by the start button. I actually found out that they got this little toggle switch hooked up going straight to the starter solenoid, so they had some wiring issues, and I can't get the power to turn on so we can check the firing or the fire on the spark plug. But let's just see how much compression it's got. I haven't checked that yet. I want to do that with y'all. Hopefully it's got enough compression where we'll be able to make this one run since it was locked up. Let's see here. I have to jump the starter. I know juice going to the starter solenoid. Check these battery cables. You have got a loose connection somewhere because okay. Here's something. Hear that sizzling sound? Is that the sound of compression? Alright, let's see what we got. We ain't got jack. Let me put my finger over it to see what it feels like. It's got a little bit. I can hear compression coming back through the intake. It could be a valve that's not seating all the way, but it don't feel like it's got anything really. It's barely pushing my finger. So I gotta get the ignition system going so we can see if we got spark. Maybe we can get it to hit off on some fuel with the compression it does have, which is next to nothing. Maybe those rings are stuck because, like I say, it was stuck in the top end. We got it freed up, so it could just be stuck rings, or it could be a valve not seating all the way. But we know that the valves are moving because I spun it over without the rocker caps on, and you can see the rockers and the valve stem going up and down. So I'm going to go through the ignition system so I can get some power so we can check for spark. We get some spark, we might be able to force it to run, and if we don't ever get any compression back, then we know this motor needs a rebuild. They might have swamped it. Like I said, everything was covered in mud all the way up to the carburetor, and that carburetor looked like it got water in it. Looking at all that corrosion, and that throttle flap won't open. So they might have ran it under water and got water in it, and then it set, and then it locked up. So, well, I'm gonna keep digging into the wiring, see if I can get that straight, and we will go from there. So I have completely went through this four-wheeler from front to back, straightening out the wiring work that I don't know if the last owner had, the guy I got it from, or the owner before that. But hooked up the new key switch. Didn't have any spark to the spark plug. They had a toggle switch ran from the old starter solenoid. I guess they were just bypassing everything, so I put a new solenoid on, wired that up right. Still didn't have any spark, no start at the start button. Had an extra CDI box, swapped that out, still no spark, still no start at the start button. Went through all the wiring that they did to the key switch. Man, I got that stuff on my hand and it looks horrible. And still no spark, no start at the start button. Checked all the connections, relays, everything. But I got to this handle here and look what I got. I got a neutral light and I also got start. And we also got spark now. I even disconnected this, there's a kill switch inside of this thumb throttle. That's with those two wires. That's just in case if you roll over and that throttle hangs, it kills the engine instantly. But now we have good spark. So I can do one or two things. This handle here, the start button, hangs up. Because how these start buttons work, you push up on it like that to make it start. And then you're on and off of side to side. Well, this one, the spring is missing. I think this came off one of the other 325s. But I could just take stuff out of here and make this one work. Or I could go on the old Amazon and just buy a brand new one for like 15 bucks. And have it here the next day. So, but now I gotta go back, tape all these wires up, get all that nice and neat. I got a carburetor coming because this one is junk, and the battery has been holding. I've been jumping it at the solenoid, and that battery it's been holding a charge, so that's good. So I'm gonna see if I can get this handle tomorrow, because the carburetor will be coming tomorrow. If I can get it tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and just order a new handle. I really don't feel like taking all that stuff apart, trying to make that one work. But I am gonna go ahead and button that up, and hopefully we can get a carburetor on it. It don't have that much compression. Maybe the rings are stuck. Maybe we can shoot it with some gas or something, get it to fire up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil out of this thing because it is overfilled all the way to the top of the dipstick. And I'm going to put a new oil filter and oil in it. Even though the engine is showing low compression, we try and run this thing. I don't want to hurt the engine no more than it already is. So we'll put some fresh oil. So what I did, I loosened the drain plug, and immediately water started coming out, just a trickle. So go ahead and drain it, and I'll let y'all see it. I mean, it was quite a bit of water. Oops, trying to get y'all set up there. There we go. So that tells me that this thing's got swamped. So let's see here. I honestly think it got swamped in some water. Look at that. Look at that. Straight up water. That is ridiculous. Should be getting oil pretty soon. There we go. So I think they swamped this thing and then they let it sit. Maybe it quit running and it's set up with water in the engine instead of them just draining it, and that's what got the ring stuck. Then we're starting to get oil, milky oil. I wouldn't be surprised they ran it with that amount of water in there. I think this only got one drain plug. I'm gonna let it drain, take the oil filter off. It might be a good idea to flush it out with something like some diesel fuel or some kind of engine flush, so it can get all that stuff out of there, because this is gonna be draining for a while. So anyway, just wanted to show y'all that what happens when you run a four-wheeler in a swamp. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let this drain out. Sound like I got an Amazon package, and be more four-wheel parts. So I'm gonna let this drain out of there, and we will move on when we get the other parts for it. But yeah, super milky water. More water. Alright, so we got the new carburetor and fuel pump in today, and also the new on and off start button switch. So this is just a typical Chinese brand aftermarket carburetor. Got the vacuum fuel pump. It comes with a new fuel filter, and it comes with two new fuel filters. It don't come with extra jets. A lot of these carburetors come with like an extra jet, like pilot jet and main jet. This one just came with the little choke cable adapter and the side cover. So this is the original carburetor here. It's a Mikuni, I believe. Yeah, Mikuni carb. So in past experiment, can't get it out. In the past, my past experience, with these carburetors, usually they say they fit a bunch of different stuff, and they don't. I mean, they do fit. They fit the engines, but the jetting is not jetted to that engine. And a lot of them come with extra jets. And so you have to put the jets that's close to your factory style jets in these aftermarket carburetors. That's why they give you a bunch of extra parts. You tear down a brand new carburetor, swap the jets. So what I've been doing, if I got the original carburetor, I take the factory jets, main jet and pilot jet, sometimes the needle on the slider, and I clean it, put it all in the aftermarket carburetor. That way the engine will run like it's supposed to, because sometimes they put the wrong jets in these aftermarket carburetors, and you go to crank it up and it's either running too lean or it's running too rich. It don't idle right, and then you have to tear it down. Now sometimes they will send you the right size jets, the factory number jet, to go into these, and they have a little number stamped on the side. And like this one, they didn't. I didn't realize they didn't. But I'm gonna take the bowl off of this one, take the bowl off of this one. I'm gonna take the main jet and pilot jet out of it, stick it over in the new carb. And it should, if this carburetor was manufactured right, it should run just like this one did when it was brand new. So I'm gonna swap that over, and we'll get the carb on there and see if we can get this thing fired up. So let's break it all down here. Try and get you guys in on the action. Kind of hate working in here because there's not that much space. But hopefully the original carburetor ain't too destroyed. Of course, you're gonna get some screws that won't come loose. You gotta have the right screwdriver bits. Because these little screws strip out easy, just like they're trying to do now. That carburetor's probably never been into whew, it's tight. Once you get them just a little strip, they will not come loose. I hate to use this as a hammer, you gotta put your head into it. So that lets you know this carburetor's never been into before, because usually they're stripped or somebody don't. Once you hear that little crackle, it's coming. Usually they're stripped and they're not that tight. This last one's gonna be the one. It's always the last one. I don't know what they make those screws out of. Pot metal. But they never stay together if you don't use the right screwdriver. Even if you do use the right screwdriver, let's see something. Sometimes you can give them a little tap. That one stripped real bad. Man, that screw is tight. It's always the last one. These vice grips here ain't worth a flip. Looks like it's trying to move. Let me get something better to hit with. There, finally. Ew, just as I thought, this carburetor is toast. Stinks too. So I'm gonna take this jet here out. There's a small jet down in there, and then that I might leave the one in the center, the main jet. I'm not sure. Let's see what that'll fit in there. Usually this one here get hung off in there. Man, this thing is just falling apart. It's so bad. So you working on one of these, been sitting for a long time, more than likely you're gonna have to put a carburetor on it, because usually the carburetors, the gas we got now with the ethanol, and then like with this one, it had water in it. The carburetor's just done. I gotta get this choke cable off here too. I don't know why they put the choke cable in there so tight where you can't get a wrench on it. You almost gotta have one of those angle wrenches. Okay, Mr. Hammer, do your work. Just need to loosen it up just a hair. See, somewhere here I got these little angle pliers. There we go. Get you some of these bad boys. Get this choke cable out. But the handle on the choke cable is broke. Uh-oh. The slider's stuck. But when you take this top off, you can spray that slider. Let's get these hoses off here. This carburetor is going to go in the parts bin anyway, or it might just go straight on in the trash. Use the right screwdriver. It's amazing on how many carburetors I have tore down and rebuilt over the years. So we'll take this slider out, the diaphragm. And this has a needle also. I've changed these, especially if you change that center main jet. And we'll knock that one out. Best thing to do is put the screw back on top of it, screw it back in, and then you can tap on it on that jet, pop right out. But you can mess the threads up. There we go. Got that one out. We're gonna clean it, clean the small one. Now I have took this, it's like plastic inner part for the slider. I have took this out, but it has security bit screws. And if you try to take these out, sometimes they will break. Those little security bit screws, they will break off in the body of the carb. I have took that out and cleaned the carburetor that way, but we ain't messing with it. It might come out of the new one easy, but we don't have to change that. Now there's a hole right here where you can, ooh, that's a strong magnet. The hole right there, that's where the choke slide goes through the body. I can see the stem of the choke slide right now. So I'm gonna squirt some carb cleaner in there, and hopefully we'll get that slide out. Looked like the choke was halfway on. Might be able to stick something in there and push it. Let that sit for a minute. There it comes. Moved almost all the way out. Oop. Man, I hope I didn't lose nothing. Nope, everything. So here's a little choke slider. Focus got off some. But this is the little choke slider here. It goes through the carburetor. When you pull the choke cable, this little thing pulls in that hole there, and that's what activates your choke. So this cable is still good, but it's just missing the handle off of it. But I have another choke cable. Alright, so enough with that. So that can go to the side. And I gotta clean these jets. We shouldn't have a problem taking the other carburetor, the new one apart. It should be good. I hate taking new carburetors apart, but like I said, I done ran into, you have to change these jets from the factory carburetor. Sometimes you don't, but I don't want to be pulling this thing off 15,000 times trying to get it set right, so I'm going to do it this way. Because these carburetors fit a lot of different Polarises. The only thing is different is the jets, the way they're set up. Brand spanking new. Does this one got numbers on it? This is like a 34. So they have a number stamped on side of these little jets. You have to take a magnifying glass and look at them. Unless you got super better vision than I do. Use a good screwdriver to get that one out. These have numbers on them too. Some of them do. Put that there. Take this out so it won't get damaged. Needle and float. Why are you taking a brand new carburetor apart? Use the right screwdriver. Because that's how I roll. Pull that out. Now, that one just fell right out of there. I didn't even have to tap it. And this one should have a number on it. See, they don't have any numbers stamped on a lot of these aftermarket ones, but they're basically the same thing. The hose is what's different. The hose, the little hose that's drilled in them. So I am going to clean those jets up that came out of the old carb. I'm gonna swap this needle here. Gotta make sure that goes back. And swap these needles and then sliders, because I'm gonna change that main jet. So that's gonna go on like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna swap these needles, clean them up, clean the old one up. So let me get all that straight, get it clean, and we'll go over to the four-wheeler, get it on there, and get ready to fire it up. Alright, so I got this thing tore down. I got the head off of it. The top of the piston has some dirt and rust on top of it. Timing chain was pretty tight. The guides, I don't know if you can see down in there, they look pretty good. I don't see any wear, but I noticed that it is rust on the head right here where the valves are. You have a lot of rust. And what I did was I took the spark plug out and I shot air through the spark plug hole before I took the head off, and I can hear air coming through the intake and out past the intake valve. And what I did was I shot air down through the top of the head where your cam is, and I can feel air coming out where the spark plug hole is. So the intake valve is not seating. I kind of figured that, and that can make compression loss. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure that I am right, I'm going to take some liquid. You can pour liquid on a head with when the valves are closed. Leave the spark plug in there, and if you have seepage around any of the valves, it will let that liquid leak out. The rest of the head looks pretty good. The cam looked good. So what you can do, I can almost see that valve is up a little bit. You can leave the spark plug in there. Let's see, let's make sure it's tight. You want to make sure it's tight because you don't want liquid to run out of the spark plug hole. And you can do this on car heads as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some kind of liquid. We're going to pour it right on top of here. And if it seeps out, that'll really let you know that the valve is stuck just a little open, and just that little stuck open can cause compression loss. I'll try and get it straight, and we'll find some kind of liquid. Let me set you down for a minute because I gotta find something that we can pour up there. And make sure this thing is level also, where it won't spill out. find something. Put some towels down there. What can we put? Can we put this up under there? That shouldn't hurt the cam cradle. So that's nice and level. And let's see, what do we have that we can pour on there? I got some seafoam in the can. That'll work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this seafoam, I'm gonna fill the dome of the can up. Look at that. It's already seeping through. Look how quick that was. It's coming out of the intake. Is it coming out the exhaust? Can't tell what's coming out the exhaust. For sure intake. I don't see anything back there. We know the intake is leaking because you can see liquid coming through. So that means the valve is not seating. It's got rust on the valve face, and we probably can just remove the valves, clean the dome of the head up, and resurface them, stick them back in there. That'll close that up. Or we can use the other head. I do have the head off the 330. I don't know, it should be the same, but I like to just put this one back on there. And that way if it don't work, we can just leave the motor together and put the other one together. But you see it is dripping, so that means that there's a valve, which is the intake valve, not seating. So you can do this with any kind of liquid. I mean, I'm just using seafoam in a can. I had some. As long as it's thin liquid. You probably can use water too. Water is thin. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going to snatch these valves out, get this head cleaned up, and I'll clean the top of the piston up. I really want to run it down, look at the cylinder walls, but I hate to knock it out of time. I might do that, but I know for a fact this is a problem. Well, I have tried everything on this four-wheeler here, and that motor is just need to be rebuilt. The top end is just bad on it. It will act like it wants to start when you have the throttle closed, but once you open the throttle, what compression it's got go away, and it's just nothing. So I'm just gonna push it to the side right now. What I might do is pull the top end off of this engine, which was good supposedly, and we'll just transfer it over to this engine. I gotta order a gasket set for the top end, so that'll be in sometime 2 or 3 days from now. All right, ladies and gents, so I went ahead and tore the engine down on the 325 just to see what was up with it, why it don't have any compression. And I didn't find anything wrong with the rings. They don't look stuck. There is some rust that's on the rod and just on the rod really. You can see the oil clean down in the bottom end on these. I removed the top ring to put it in the cylinder and see how bad the cylinder is worn. I didn't see anything stuck, but there is some marks on side of the piston. That might just be rust where the piston was going up and down. So I put the top ring in the cylinder. I noticed the cylinder has some rust. You can feel some rust in the cylinder. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. I got the ring right where the rust is. You can probably see on the cylinder walls. That's where the water sit. Ring gap don't look bad, but there's a lot of rust built up right in the center of the cylinder. But when I held it up to the light, I can see, I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of hard to see. You can barely see some light coming around the ring and the cylinder wall. Let me see here. I got so much stuff in the way. Let me get a different light. So I believe that's probably where my compression was going. Still kind of hard to see. You can barely see a little light around the ring. You probably can see it there. So there is some wear in this cylinder, and it can be losing compression around where that rust is and the ring is sitting. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take the top end off of that other one. It's supposed to be a good one. I'm gonna take the top end off of it, ring and piston, and I'm gonna tear it down. Just 2 bolts and the whole cylinder will be off. And I'm gonna see what that piston and ring look like. This engine right here was running, but like I said before, he claimed that the timing gear that screws onto the crankshaft broke, and he tore it down. But the cam and everything looks good. So I'm gonna take the top end off of this one. I really don't feel like putting this whole engine over in here. That bottom end is nice and tight. I don't see anything wrong with it. I really don't feel like changing engines. I got a new gasket set coming anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take these 2 8mm bolts loose. The other bolts are already out. The head is just sitting on it. And I'm gonna pull the top end off, inspect the cylinder, make sure it looks good, and I'm just gonna put the ring and piston cylinder on this engine. I think I got to use the other head. Now I did find out these things have a compression release on the camshaft, and I think I might have made a boo-boo also. When I put the timing gear back on last time, I had that flipped up like that, and I was reading in the book, this is supposed to make the engine turn over easier when you pull starting it or electric start it. So if this was up and it was holding the valve up, that would have caused me not to have any compression also. But in the beginning, we know that it had a stuck valve. The valve wasn't seating all the way. So when I put it back together, I need to put it back just like that. I didn't know that. I got to looking in the book. That's the compression release lever. And there's a spring that I don't know what the spring's supposed to do. It just sits on the shaft. But as you see here in this picture, that's how it's supposed to be. And I had it flipped up. So that could have been my fault. It might have had compression, but I know that cylinder looks kind of bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this engine down, get the top end off of it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got the cylinder off of the engine that had the timing chain issue, and it looks real good. Even the ring gap is really tight. Look at the ring gap on this one. That's the one that had the rust in the cylinder. So that cylinder looks good, so I'm going to go ahead, put this cylinder on it with the ring and piston, and I think we will have a runner, because this cylinder here, I mean, the cross hatching looks good and everything. So that's my plan. We're going with this cylinder. Here's the piston. It's got some carbon buildup on top. I kind of marked where the ring's supposed to turn. When you put rings on a piston, you want to make sure, especially on 4-stroke, that you space your gaps out where your rings is, your ring gap. Like this one was here. You can see the opening of the ring right here, and the other one was right where this mark is. And you want to make sure on your oil ring also, there's one opening of the oil ring, the lower oil ring there, and the other one's on the other side. You want to make sure that you space them out, the gaps. You don't want them to line up straight down from each other where the gaps are lined up, because you'll have compression leak by, and that's not good. So I'm gonna get this piston off here, get it cleaned up, get it in the other bottom end. I'm waiting on the gasket set to come, and be ready to put this thing together. Okay, here's the moment we all been waiting for. So I got the engine all the way back together. The carburetor boot has a crack in it. It's not all the way through, so we should be able to crank it up, and I got a new one coming. Got fresh oil in it again, so timing should be spot on. So let's put some gas in it. Oh man, this gas can's heavy. That'll be good enough. It might smoke for a little bit because I put a lot of oil on the piston and the rings when I was putting it together. So hopefully it fires up with no issues. Gas on. Okay, here we go. Turn the gas off. Uh-oh. Put on my foot. It runs. I don't have the top motor mount on, so the motor's kind of jumping around. But hey, it runs. Sounds pretty good. Got a lot of oil burning off. There it goes. I say we got a little smoke, plus the exhaust is probably full of water. Cut off. What's up with that? That didn't sound good. Oh, I got the gas off. Dial it up just a little bit. There it goes. I had the gas off. That rattling sound is this bracket that holds the carburetor. Sounds good. I don't know if it's charging. I said it's going to smoke a little bit because, number one, I put a lot of oil on the piston and in the cylinder too. And that motor had water in it, so it's probably still some water in the bottom end a little bit. We got an oil line leaking. An oil line leaking right there. Wish this thing would shut up. Let it cool off some. But hey, it runs. This oil cooler line over here is leaking. Guess I'm gonna have to replace that. See oil dripping. Yeah, that's probably, it might just be water up inside of this rubber hose that's over the top of it. Probably water when I washed it. It sounds pretty good though. Sounds real good. I'm impressed. So now we finally got it to run. So that other top end was just junk, and plus, like I said, on that compression release arm, I think I might have had it positioned wrong and it was kind of holding the valve open. But even if it did run with the other top end, it was going to start smoking because that cylinder's got rust in it. Let's see what it fire back up. Battery, I don't think it's charging. It might not be charging. When it went rip. We'll have to put a meter on it and see. I put a new starter gear in it. This thing here is just rattling. Dial it down some. There we go. Yeah, that smoke should clear up. All right, so it runs pretty good. So next step is to make sure the charging system works. I still got to put the new carburetor boot on when it comes. I got to change the steering stem because it's all bent up right here. Looked like they might have flipped it. So the handlebars are tilted, if I can see. And put the plastics back on. I got a new air filter for it. I got to put the shifter back on. So I think we'll be good as gold. I'm just glad to hear it run because it's frustrating when you have something and you just steady keep working on it and then you finally get it right, you know, all the frustration gone. Just hit the pipe. So I am going to call it for right now, and we'll get back with it once I get everything back on and take it for a test ride. Welcome back to the Polaris 325 showdown, I guess you can say. So in the last video I did on this four-wheeler, got this thing finally running after playing around with the flooded motor that was full of water, and then took the top end off and played with the head and stuff, and then finally put top end off of 330 on it, and now it's running. So pretty much got everything on it. Got new fuel pump, got a new fuel petcock, we got the air box on with the new air filter, got the gas tank on. What else? I took the pool rope starter off, rebuilt it with a kit from Amazon, fixed a leaky oil line, got the shifter back on, went through and greased all the bushings, the U-joints, changed out the steering stem because, as you remember, if you go back, the steering stem was kind of cocked to the side, or somebody had, I guess, rolled it. So this steering stem is out of the other 325 that I had for parts. Yeah, so it's time to finally get the plastics on it, get it cleaned up a little bit. We'll take it for a spin, and it's gonna go up for sale. So we got the front plastics here, got the little grill with the headlights. I got another front rack for it. The other front rack was kind of busted. The side covers are over there, the front nose is over there, floorboard. So it's time to get this thing together and move on to something else, because I got something else that I want y'all to see on the channel. But first I gotta get this finished. But here it is, folks, the 1999 Polaris 325 two-wheel drive. It's a 325 with a 330 cylinder, so it's got a 330 kit. So I haven't rode it yet, only just to put it on the trailer. I cleaned it up a little bit, and gonna get out here and ride. It's cooled off some. Ride it, see how it goes, and it will be up for sale. So as of right now, it runs good. So we got all the plastics on, seat, and everything. So let me get it unloaded, and we'll take it for a spin. Let's see what this thing fire up. Should just cut it off when I loaded it. Neutral. Oh yeah. And it's off. I might have to idle it up just a tad. but it is cold. But nice and quiet. I even got the tail light working. And I think oh, the lights only work on high. So it's got headlights. So I'm going to get some things set up and we're going to take it for a spin, but no smoke. I mean, that thing just patty caking like a four-wheeler supposed to. All right, well, let me get some things put up and we'll take it out for a cruise. Got a little smoke coming out. I think it's just burning all that oil off of it. Like I was saying, the carburetor is loading up a little bit. I have to really get in it, so I bet you I'm going to have to go in and do some adjusting on the air screw. But once it get up there, it's gone. Yeah, it's loading up and cut off. Yeah. I'm going to have to go in and do some adjusting on the carb. But other than that, man, it'll cut a donut easy. It's a two-wheel drive, so it's lighter. It don't have the front diff or the front axles to put weight on the front. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have to do a little carburetor adjusting on it, but it does run pretty good. Brakes work. It's not a big powerhouse, but it's something, you know, a kid can play on, ride around the yard or get out in the woods and ride. You know, it's 2-wheel drive, so you ain't gonna really do too much. Or use around your house, farm. It's got some good tires on it, new tires, matter of fact. So I'm gonna keep playing with it. If it don't blow up, which I'm not gonna blow it up, but I just want to see what it's gonna do. It cut a rug. I don't know how much air is in those back tires. I think they got too much. Need to let some of it out. That carburetor is really acting up. So I'm gonna have to do something with that carb because it's just starting to load up real bad. I mean, it don't get to moving to half throttle and it's just choking. So it might have got some trash in it. I got a new fuel filter on it, but that don't mean nothing. So I'm probably just gonna load it back up, take it back, play with it, get the carb right, and then put it up for sale. But there it is anyway, 2-wheel drive Polaris. It ain't nothing much to look at, you know. It does run, it does drive, and I saved it. So I'm gonna go ahead and load this thing up, get it back to the house, and mess with that carb, and like I say, we'll pass it on to somebody. So y'all like, share, subscribe. Some more stuff coming to the channel as always. You never know what might pop up. Will it be a Polaris? Will it be a street bike? 6-wheeler? Look, my phone's dinging already. That's Marketplace probably. Got deals already. So anyway, that's gonna be it for now. Y'all like, share, subscribe, and we'll holler at y'all later. Be sure to check out the first channel, RPM Auto, and leave some comments on both channels and some thumbs up. And it's free to subscribe to both. Go ahead and do that if you haven't. And any questions, suggestions, anything, don't be afraid to ask. All right, y'all, I'm getting out of here. Mosquitoes getting bad. Bye.